Yeah.
You know, it brings us back to the question, who should have the bomb? And should it be President Biden? That's kind of a scary thought. He's falling even further in the polls, if you can believe that. He now has a new low, his approval rating dropping to 37%. Is that according to Rasmussen? No. That's ABC News and the Washington Post, formerly very friendly territory for the president and the Democrat Party. The same poll showed a majority of Americans believe he's mentally unfit. Tomorrow, the president's going to deliver that State of the Union address we were talking about. He's got inflation, COVID mandates, and weak leadership that now has the U.S. on the brink of a nuclear war. That's just great. So what is he going to boast about, Inez?
There's really not a lot. And again, you know, Americans thought this was going to be the return to normalcy. I mean, I think a lot of us knew that wasn't going to be the case. But, you know, nevertheless, people were tired of what had been a series of crises since the pandemic began. But now they're looking back at the rest of, for example, the presidency of Donald Trump and recalling that, in fact, these crises in the world did not seem to happen under his watch. And apparently the majority of Americans, 62%, think that this wouldn't have happened under President Trump, this invasion of Ukraine, and 58% of Americans believe that Joe Biden's weakness invited this invasion. So that's strong majorities critiquing exactly the things that Joe Biden was supposed to be good at, right? He was supposed to be a return to those very serious people in Washington, D.C. who didn't tweet mean things and weren't as volatile, and we were going to return to the comforting world of 2012. Well, that hasn't happened domestically. It hasn't happened in terms of foreign relations and globally. Yeah. And instead it seems to be a series of crises, one after the other. So yeah, I don't know what he's going to brag on, but he better think of something fast, because on just about every issue, he's underwater now.
So it's interesting, Chris, because obviously right now you need people around you who are not only foreign policy and global security experts, but those who understand the Ukrainian energy market. I can think of no one better to advise the president than his son, Hunter Biden, who was given that sweetheart deal with Burisma. So, you know, shouldn't we be hearing more from Hunter right now, who probably has the best insider's perspective of anyone?
No, but let me address some of the things Inez said. First of all, this president has brought our allies together, rebuilt NATO from the decimated United States leadership absence that was the last 4 years under President Trump. Our allies are aligned in fighting Russia, including the Germans. Now the Swiss are coming in, formerly neutral Swiss. They are holding Russia accountable economically. And I think if they start carpet bombing Ukraine, there may be other actions taken by NATO that would further damage the Russian economy. President Biden should be commended for that. He brought that together. Now, as for his poll numbers, they are seriously bad right now. No denying it. Rasmussen actually had him at 40 today, which I thought was kind of surprising. But it's... you know, the speech tomorrow night, he's got to address a lot of these things, got to address these concerns. And I do believe that as this crisis goes on and President Biden shows leadership on the world stage, those numbers will change, which is why members of the Republican Party for the weeks leading up to this crisis were praising Putin, because they saw the comparison as beneficial to them. And maybe it worked in the short term, but long term, that was a devastating strategy.
Well, it's interesting because a lot of Democrats, Spike, are talking about things like carpet bombing and cyber warfare and really stupid, hawkish ideas that Chris was just highlighting. Does any of that give you pause?
It certainly does. I mean, I miss the anti-war left, and I look forward to them coming back when a Republican's president. Although, actually, there was no anti-war left when Donald Trump was president either, so that might just be a thing of the past. I am happy to see Democrats being really happy about Ukrainian civilians being given machine guns and rocket launchers. I'm hoping that works its way here. Anyway, when it comes to the State of the Union, I think that that Joe Biden, the biggest problem he has is that he is dealing with years and decades of the logical conclusion of some very bad policies. We were talking about presidents inheriting things. The fact is, most of the inflation and the supply chain and labor issues that are happening that are causing all the domestic problems we're seeing, a lot of that happened under Donald Trump with the help of Democrats. The problem is Joe Biden supported all of that. He supported Donald Trump's CDC guiding all of the different states into the lockdowns that wreaked havoc on the economy and that we're still feeling the ripple effects of. He supported the stimulus spending, corporate massive bailouts to billionaire cronies that put both parties in office that have led to the massive inflation that we're seeing now. And frankly, he's continuing the course on that. And of course, when it comes to Ukraine, he was one of the top senators and the vice president during many of the years and decades of those policies.
And you could argue that the
lap.
Ukraine crisis is a gift that Joe Biden gave to himself. Party panel, thank you so much. Great to see you all and hear your perspectives. And Nez, Chris, and Spike, well done.